Santa, you got a little dust in your whiskers and in your hat. Hey there, I'm just doing a little Christmas decorating. But I know you've tuned in for the 2019 Petawawa Santa Claus Parade broadcast, which I'm proud to host this year. So, sit back and enjoy the parade. It's pretty nice out here today. A little on the cool side, but otherwise, it's a really nice day for the parade. Up first, we have the Petawawa Legion Band, so let's give a listen. That was a really nice rendition of Jingle Bells there. And it looks like we've got the mayor of Petawawa, Bob Sweet, coming up next. I've been to a few Petawawa council meetings, helping your TV to tape them. And, Bob Sweet, he's a really nice man, and he does a pretty good job as mayor. And here's the rest of Petawawa Town Council wishing you and everyone a very Merry Christmas. And of course, the theme of this year's parade is Days of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. And obviously they're showing the future of Petawawa, but as we look at the back of the float here, there are some past council members that they're also displaying. And up next we have Stars in Motion. This is a dance studio that people in Pembroke and Petawawa and all over the northern part of Renfrew County know. They seem to be doing a very good job dancing this year. Yeah, when the snow is on the ground, the world, it just looks like a marshmallow world, as that old song goes. It's a marshmallow world in the wintertime. Up next, we have the Girl Guides. Scouts has been a very important part of all the communities up here in the northern part of Renfrew County. And next we have the Rotary Club. I think that was Rudolph they had on there. And now for Heiska's Your Independent Grocer. Looks like they got a lot of presents in the back of that truck. And up next is some of our men from the base in the 42nd Field Regiment. Nice big truck. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the 2019 Petawawa Santa Claus Parade. Up next, we have Bistro 900. This is a restaurant that I think is in Pembroke, but they're here in Petawawa today, showing off their Christmas spirit. And up next, we have the Petawawa Skating Club. I know a lot of young people love to skate, and I'd skate too if I could find skates big enough for me, but these kids really look like they're having fun on that float today, and unfortunately there's no ice out there for them to skate on, but still, it's nice that they're in the parade. And up next we have the Deep River Hospital. As everyone knows, over the past year there was the Chase the Ace lottery for the hospital, which raised a lot of money for them. And I'm pretty sure they're glad that people played that lottery. Up next, I can't quite make out which group this... Whoa, is Ever Smoky? They actually got a real campfire on there, so I couldn't make out which group that was. I'm sorry, but that reminds me of the old days that you read about in history before we had electricity and all that. For Christmas, everyone would have to gather around the fire. And of course, we've got the Shriners up now. That famous fez of theirs, and not too sure what the name of their mascot is, but see, he's wearing the fez as well as this gentleman right here. The Shriners, they do a lot of good work in the community, and it's real nice that they're in the parade. And now the Olive Valley Waste Recovery Center. We've got the green box, the blue box, and the yellow bin. And now we've got the Truckers Toy Drive. These people always get a lot of toys for underprivileged kids who may not get a present at Christmas otherwise. Okay, this is an interesting one. A steam engine. Up next, it looks like as part of the theme of the parade, this group is doing a Christmas Carol, which I'm sure everyone is familiar with the story of Scrooge and how on Christmas Eve he's visited by three spirits that turn him from being a miser into being a generous person. House on the back of the float there almost looks like a gingerbread house, which is an old tradition that a lot of families still do each and every Christmas, is to make a gingerbread house. And up next, I think these are the Army cadets that we're seeing, and some of their maybe some of their parents are in the Army. And now we got Feltham's tree service. In the sunlight, that tree really glitters. I was trying to get a shot of it there coming down, but You really have to be here in order to see the garland and decoration that they've got on the tree. In the sunlight, it really sparkles. And I know this is going to be playing quite a few times on your TV throughout the Christmas season. And if you weren't able to make it down here this year, I would highly recommend that you get out and see the Petawawa Santa Claus Parade next year, because there's only so much that you can see and experience through the TV, whereas being here live adds an extra depth to that experience. And now it looks like we've got some sort of farm coming from Pembroke. Sorry, I can only see the farm. And everyone loves to see horses in the parade. Now this is Spas for Paws. Yeah. If you never thought that your pets would need a place to go for a spa treatment, well, there's a business here in Petawawa called Spas for Paws, and they really pamper your pets. Up next we have My FM 104.9. Sorry, some of these floats, it's hard to tell which group has put them in, because they don't say on the front or even on the sides of there, or it's very tricky, so I apologize for not naming every single one, but at the same time it's hard to see the names. And this guy, is that an Indian he's got on the back of his ATV? I think so. And here's another Christmas tree. I guess they're suggesting spending Christmas on the trails. And here's the Petawawa Fire Department. You know, if you have a live tree, remember to turn the lights out when you're not in the room, because it would be a really sorry Christmas if your tree caught on fire and burned your house down. So remember, turn off those lights when you leave the room, or you're going out for a time, so that you can have a very Merry Christmas. Wait, do I hear something? I think I hear... Is it, oh yes, the man of the hour, Santa Claus. He's here now. And looks like he's brought Frosty behind him. Hello, Santa. How are you doing? Well, kids, I hope you remember to be good so that you can get on Santa's nice list this year and maybe find a special present from him under the tree this Christmas morning.
Merry Christmas, everyone. It's a wonderful time of the year.
And I'd like you to stay tuned to this broadcast because after these messages, I'll be back to talk about Joy to the World. Oh, hi, you're back. How'd you enjoy the parade? I loved it. I hope you did too. I'm just looking through a few records here. You know, part of the parade's theme this year was Christmas past, present, and future. And, you know, 2019 represents the 300th anniversary of one of the season's most beloved Christmas carols, Joy to the World. Here's one that's got Joy to the World on it. A really great Christmas song. The lyrics to Joy to the World were first written in 1719 by the English writer Isaac Watts. The melody was added much later. Isaac Watts was paraphrasing Psalm 98 from the Bible. O sing unto the Lord a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory. The Lord hath made known his salvation. His righteousness hath he openly shewed in the sight of the heathen. He hath remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Make a loud noise, and rejoice and sing praise. Sing unto the Lord with the harp and the voice of the psalm. With trumpets and sound of cornet, make a joyful noise before the Lord the King. Let the sea roar, and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. Let the floods clap their hands. Let the hills be joyful together before the Lord, for he cometh to judge the earth. With righteousness shall he judge the world, and the people with equity. Funny thing is, with Joy to the World, unlike most carols that are looking back to the birth of Jesus Christ, Joy to the World is actually looking forward, which is what Isaac Watts believed that Psalm 98 was talking about. However, Psalm 98 was written before Jesus was even born. So, by paraphrasing it, he was looking at it with Jesus Christ in mind. You know, at Christmas time, sure, we've got Santa and, Frosty the Snowman, all that, but at the same time, the religious aspect of Christmas is all about the birth in the stable. 2,000 years ago, Jesus came. He was a man, he died, and he rose again. And it is at Christmas time that we celebrate that, as well as at Easter. But the one thing that a lot of people don't really think about is that he is returning again. He is coming again. It will be his second time here on the earth. And when he returns, he will be here to rule forever. As Joy to the World goes, the first and second stanza really reflect the future. It says, Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the earth, the Savior reigns. Let men their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills and plains repeat the sound in joy. You see, joy to the world is not talking about Jesus' first coming. It is talking about his second coming, which is still future to us. Even though nowadays we can see a lot of evidence that it is very close. Like, one thing which really pops to mind for me is that we are living in a time where Israel exists. Up until 1948, and when Isaac Watts wrote Joy to the World, there was no Israel. However, when you read Bible prophecy, Israel plays a key role in the end times. And at Christmas time, when we sing Joy to the World, we are talking about and singing about Jesus' return, his defeat of Satan, and all that he will be doing to rid the world of the sin that our parents, Adam and Eve, caused each and every one of us to inherit. Now, in the third stanza of Joy to the World, talks about Jesus removing the curse. Goes, no more let sins and sorrows grow, nor thorns infest the ground. He comes to make his blessings flow, far as the curse is found. That line, far as the curse is found, while it's not in the psalm, it refers back to Genesis. Specifically, Genesis 3:17-18. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shalt bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. So when verse 3 also says, nor thorns infest the ground, it is referring back to God's original punishment to Adam. When he said that there would be thorns on the ground and humankind would not live in paradise anymore. But verse 3 is also telling us that when Jesus returns to set up his millennial kingdom, actually his kingdom forever, he will be removing this curse. And he will be making his blessings flow. And the human race will return to what God originally intended. And verse 4 goes on to say, he rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness and wonders of his love. You see, in the future, every knee on earth will bow. Whether it's before the white throne judgment, where everyone who's ever lived on this earth, whether they believed in Jesus or not, will have to bow. Even Satan himself will have to bow his knee before Jesus Christ and declare that Jesus is Lord. And then Satan will be thrown into the pit where he will get his punishment. However, for those who believe in Jesus, they will live and reign here on earth with him. I hope you enjoyed this telecast today, and I encourage you to enjoy the Christmas season and ponder, would you like to be here on earth for all eternity with Jesus? Or would you rather be in hell with Satan, where he will suffer? For Joy to the World is an anthem which I believe the saints will be singing as they return to earth after the rapture with Jesus on his white horse as he comes to defeat Satan. Merry Christmas.